Hello, Pearls and Gemstones tribe. I think there was a network lag there. Yeah, so you recall that by the way, if you're not in the Pearls and Gems network, is a community, a network of singles, network community for singles, right in their win season, and you can go in the description to find a link to join, or go to Instagram Elizabeth M.M.Omoworare. Go to the link in bio, and you'll find the tab to connect to the Pearls and Gemstones Tribe Pack. Right. Okay. So there are so many things that that can pose as complexities for relationships these days, and I think there are about 9 of them. By the way, this is from my book, Journey to Enthronement for Singles in Their Waiting Season. If you don't have a copy, go and get a copy, right? So there are a couple of them: high expectations and standards. So you're trying to attract Mr. Right. Are you actually that kind of person, right? Because the essence is you attract who you are. So who are you becoming? Who are you, right? And you shouldn't have highly unrealistic expectations in that sense. I'm not saying you shouldn't expect the best, but it shouldn't be unrealistic. So if you're looking for a partner who fulfills all these criteria, that long list where somebody, Mr. Handsome, he's tall, he's dark, he's handsome, he's this, he's that, and some other things, they are basically they are, but they are not things that really count when you get married. Those are not the things that are placed before you on the table when you get married. So you have to talk about values, the person's mission, where they are going, their goals, their plans for the future, um, the issues they've had in the past, their background, their foundation, to if they've experienced trauma in the past, and the kind of relationships they look forward to. And you recall that there's so many things that I talked about in the community previously about having a marriage plan. So the marriage plan encompasses 13 things, right? Communication, finances, your visions, your how you want to build your family, what you expect to see in your family going forward, the kind of person you want to evolve into. Because as you get married, you change every day. You meet a different version of your spouse every day. So who do you want to be? How do you want to relate with the world? What sort of because compatibility is a big deal. And if you don't have my resource, 30 questions to ask before you say I do, that's also very important. Once you go to my Instagram handle, elizabeth.m.omorare, you can connect to my seller store, and you find all those resources there. So 30 questions you must ask: compatibility, spirituality, their finances, their medical history, all of these things you need to really discuss it, right? And so the next is the solution to this is to self-reflect, evaluate whether your expectations are realistic and genuine, right? Are your expectations based on reality, or are they societal ideals, something that somebody has projected to you and you just want it? So the basis of it is you need to understand yourself, who you are, right? And then the next is fear of vulnerability. So trust is very important. We recall that Proverbs says you don't cast your pearls before swine. So in relationships, you trust grows gradually. You don't just meet somebody today and you're opening up to them completely on who they are, um, how your past, what's your past, the issues that you've had here and there. No, you have to take it gradually. So from stage to stage, the person earns your trust gradually. They earn your trust. So please, I can see some people joining my live stream. When you come in, please drop me a comment. Just confirm and let me know that you can hear me. Okay, you can hear me and you see me. Okay, so I was talking about fear of vulnerability, difficulty opening up and being vulnerable. So there's a total stranger. Trust is earned, access is earned, right? And so you build gradually. Some people have issues trusting others, and it's fine. It's basically a trauma response from your childhood, how you were raised, the people um, that raised you, and all of that. Yeah. So some of the things that you can do is to really ask this important question. So, do I really trust people? What stops me from really trusting people? And then you take it gradually. Can this person be trusted? This person that I'm relating with, can they be trusted? Because if you don't evaluate all of that, some people get burnt because they trusted too early. Okay, so if you need to check those things about yourself, please do, right? The next is previous relationship baggage, like past trauma and all of that. You have to really extract the lessons from your past relationships. Okay, what worked, what didn't work, how did I what boundaries didn't I set, what mistakes did I make, how were they done, right? So when you extract these things, you know more about yourself and you don't repeat mistakes. I wrote a book, I think 2021 or 22, that Mind Games of a Broken Heart, how to navigate what you need to know before your next relationship. So these are some of the things that you need to focus on, because if you don't deal with your past, you get into the new relationship with a limp, or you're using this new person as a clutch, right? So the next is the solution to this is to identify patterns, like I said, and work on self improvement. Engage in activities or therapy aimed at healing past relationships, past emotional wounds. Write about a negative belief that you have, which you know is false, and really break it down. So the next is balancing personal goals and relationship goals. So I talked about compatibility earlier. Who do you want to be? Are we on the same page? Who does this person want to become in the near future? Right? Who do they want to become in the near future? Are we on the same page? This is really, really important. So difficulty aligning personal aspirations with the demands of relationship can be a tussle, right? In between. So you have to develop strategies to balance this. You're asking questions: how can I create a balanced schedule? And how can I align my goals, right, to the season that I'm in? Inadequate relationship skills, for example, how well do you communicate? What's your communication style? And beyond speaking, which is what we really know, there are other communication styles. So how do you communicate? What's your go-to strategy in resolving conflicts? That's something you need to break down. So what communication and relationship skills do I need to develop, and how can I work on them? You start, it's not when you want to get, when you're ready to get married, that you start reading books about communication, about the relationships, and that you start from now, right? You start from now and keep building. Okay, so the next is overemphasis on finding the one. So a little bit setting emphasis on finding the one. So like I said earlier in the beginning, you're not just focused on the perfect person. Who are you becoming? Because like I said, you attract who you are. Who are you becoming? When you work on yourself, the right people, right, the right person will gravitate towards you. So who are you becoming? So feeling the need to find a partner quickly, or believing the concept of the perfect one, it doesn't work like this. Build self-awareness. Who are you? Do you know who you are? What are your beliefs? What are your likes and dislikes? um what do you really believe in? What do you really believe in? And what's your expectation in marriage? Yeah, thank you for connecting, Elisha. What's your expectation in marriage, right? So these questions need to be answered. What do you what sort of future do you envision? What sort of future do you imagine? Because if you're not on the same path, if you're not if you don't have the same, you might not really have the same goals, but there has to be a meeting point, right? There has to be a meeting point somewhere on the end game of that goal. This is what we really want to achieve. So you have to be, you necessarily don't have to be going on the same path. If you're going on the same path, that's fine, but you necessarily don't have to go on the same path, right? Before your goals align, you just ask the important questions. How do I marry these two goals? How do we merge these two goals together? And that would really help. Okay, because like I said, understanding that relationship is about growth and partnership, not finding a perfect partner. So what can I do to shift my focus on building a healthy partnership? That's really important. How can I approach dating with the mindset of building a partnership rather than finding a perfect partner? Okay, and so the next is I'm wrapping up briefly. The next is societal expectations and pressures. So are you facing societal pressures? What sort of issues are you dealing with out there? Are you pressured to really find somebody, to just get somebody to get married to? It doesn't work like that, because marriage exposes and reveals a lot of things about who you are. So you have to sit with yourself and don't be pressured. Don't allow anybody to push you into what you're not willing to go into, or who you don't want to settle with. I know that the pressure can be there, as especially for ladies as they age and all of that, and they can be carried away by career, but just take it slowly at your pace. And these are some of the things that I share in the community. Like I said, Pearls and Gemstones Tribe. If you're not a part of it yet, go to my handle on Instagram, or drop the details, the link in the description, so you can join. Some of the things that I discuss in the community about what you need to do. First, you have to be grounded in your beliefs, grounded in who you are, so you don't fall into left thinking, oh, it's not my side, things are not working out. No, you have to be grounded in yourself, and then the right person will gravitate towards you. Okay, so societal pressures and expectations can limit a person. So what do? Learn to set boundaries with family and friends about your personal choices. How do you communicate your relationship goals to others without feeling pressured? There's a whole lot you can do. Let them know that it's your race, and you don't have to be pressured to engage with somebody that you're not ready or willing to date. Marriage is a lifetime commitment. These days we hear a lot about a lot of divorce cases here and there. You don't want to jump into marriage and jump out. You have to be you want to be sure that the person you're settling with is really, really the person that has is on the same path with you, right? So how do you communicate your relationship goals to others without feeling pressured? Focus on your happiness rather than on external pressures. Okay. Elisha is asking if I'm married. Yes, I'm married. Okay, so what are the personal values and goals that guide your decision to pursue a relationship? Why do you want a relationship? Why do you want to get into a relationship? You need to answer these questions. If you have any question, please drop it as a comment, so I'll take it before this live is over, right? So difficulty meeting potential partners due to a small social network. That's lack of opportunity for meeting partners. So do you socialize with people? Do you go out? Do you engage? Do you relate with others? This is really important, right? You don't stay in isolation and expect that you would meet your, so you need to go for occasions, but yes, the right kind of occasions uh, that aligns with the kind of person you are, because environment is big deal, right? Environment is powerful. Okay, so join clubs, communities where aligned. Okay, communicate shows without feeling pressured. Yeah, so I spoke about this before. And when you're in a community that is like-minded, you understand yourselves, you're able to share some strategies on how to navigate the challenges that you face, right? The next is unresolved personal issues, lack of focus on personal growth and development. struggling with self-esteem or self-worth issues that affect relationships. This can be big deal, and that's why I talked about self-awareness. Yes, so marriage is all understanding. There's no perfect marriage. Marriage is not a bed of roses. Yes, because as you evolve, you face challenges. So if you understand that marriage is sacrifice, it's not just love, it's sacrifice. You're on the same page. You speak to say we are committing to make this work, and you're able to wade through those challenges together, right? So struggling with self-esteem or self-worth issues can affect relationships. So you really need to know yourself, understand who you are, engage in activities that foster personal development and self-acceptance. You need to embrace who you are. You need to be grounded in your identity. You need to love yourself, right? Thank you for joining, Brella. You need to be grounded in your identity so that you're not swayed to the left or to the right. And with the age of social media, people project their false identities online, right? So you have to be careful and be sure that you are grounded in your values and identities so you understand who you are and you are rock solid in that awareness. So, personal growth activities. So, there's a journal that I wrote, Dimensions of Life journal. I'm going to talk about that at the end. So, like I said, self acceptance, confidence in who you are, use affirmation, right? These are going to really help you and boost your confidence. The next is, I think that's the last, misalignment of long term goals, differences in long term goals, such as marriage, children, or lifestyle. When you get married, a lot of things change. For women, their body change, except they are intentional about staying fit, embracing a fitness lifestyle. People meet people meet people, and some company, some sort of relationships are not. So you have to be on the same page, like I said, compatibility. You both want the best for yourselves because when you get married, you see this person, you see this person for who they are every day, 247, every day, 247. And like sometimes you'll be asking some questions like, how did I really pick this person? Those days will come, definitely. Those You have to be sure of the reasons why you chose that person, and that's why you shouldn't be pressured. Like I said, I talked about societal pressures and expectations. You shouldn't get into a relationship because somebody said so, or because you're expecting this from somebody, or let it be for you. Let it be for you, not for anyone else. It's a decision you make because of where you're going, the future that you want to build. Okay? So have open conversations about the future, who you want to be, where you want to spend, the kind of person you want to spend the rest of your life with, and how you want to have honest and open conversations, how you want to solve conflict, how you manage finances, how you the schools you want your children to go to. Spirituality is a big deal because you're not just marrying a person, you're marrying a background and a mindset. So you have to be on the same page with regards to this, okay? So addressing what are the long-term relationship goals and how do they align, so that these are the things you discuss and really settle before you get married. And there are a whole lot, but this is where I'm going to stop. Like I said, get my book Journey to Enthronement for singles in their waiting season. And you can also get the guide 30 questions to ask before you say I do, right? So addressing these issues involves the combination of self-reflection, skills building, practical strategies. Understanding and tackling these challenges would help to improve your chances of finding that person and maintaining a successful and healthy relationship. So there's a journal that I created, Dimensions of Life journal. So it talks about the dimensions of your life in 12 aspects, because you have to be a complete person before you start reaching out for who you want to get married to, right? So when you understand yourself and you evolve day in, day out, you're saying that this is who I'm becoming in your spirituality, your legacy work, your career and your finances, network and alliances, health wellness and fitness, in your renewal and rest commitments, you're saying to yourself that this is who I want to be, and your horizontal relationships with those around you and with those that you call family. So all of these are important, and seasons change, so your life has to keep evolving. You have to be satisfied with where you are before you think of getting into a relationship, because marriage does not answer all those questions. Trust me, it doesn't. There is still some sort of emptiness when you're not fulfilling purpose. So these are the things that I highlighted in um, last chapter of my book, Complexities of Contemporary Relationship. Any questions? I hope this has been worth your time. Thank you for joining me today. I don't see any questions. I would like to end this live stream now. Thank you all for joining me. Thank you for your contributions. And I hope this has been highly informative. All right. Thank you. Bye bye.